Feeling uncomfortable.
Greetings and good evening. Welcome on today's episodes of Lumen Conversation Unscripted. With me in the studios, I'm joined by Mr. Oria Banda, Esther, and Josephine. Welcome to the program, beautiful people.
Thank you so much.
Like Josephine.
Okay.
We're glad to have you. You're actually our special guest tonight.
The pleasure is mine.
What have you brought for us? What have you brought to us? Before I ask you what you brought to us, at least say hi to our dear viewers.
Hi viewers, I hope you are doing fine, most especially that it's cold. I believe you are keeping yourselves warm. We just have to protect ourselves from this cold. Thank you.
I hope our dear viewers will call in, because you're the person that brings us good things. I'm sure there's like a bag somewhere where you have kept some nice things for us.
Of course. Wow, our dear viewers. We have come here to conversate with you, to kambeko tumankani, to shimike, we want to hear from you as much as we are here to talk about whatever topic they're going to tell us, the topic that we are going to be discussing today. So we would want you to join us. You can call in or you write a message. Just give us your thought about this beautiful topic yet to be introduced. The numbers will soon be roaring on your screens, so you have to join us.
Okay, sorry. In case you want to greet someone, or you want to give a specific person, or you can just say hi to our dear viewers.
I don't have to specify, but the specification is that those who are following us through Lumen TV channel 101 are very much welcome. We are here to interact with them. It's an interactive program. We would like to engage them as much possible as they can, so that we share what we have as our thoughts and what they feel and think can add value to whatever we'll be talking about. So we will welcome them in a very special way, that it's going to be a very different setup today.
Exactly.
We are very much equal to the task. You can see from the smile.
No, yes, but I wanted to say, from what you have said, I think you've only said those people who are watching us on TV, which is Top Star Channel 101. We would also like to welcome all those that are watching us from our social platforms, which is our Facebook page, which is Lumen TV Zambia, and our YouTube page. Please kindly follow our page for more interesting programs that Lumen TV has for you. Esther, are we colleagues or we are friends?
Somehow we are friends, somehow we are colleagues, but I don't know if also we are workmates.
The somehow
cancels everything. They somehow cancels everything.
Yes.
Actually, when somebody asks you something, then it's like you include a but in a statement. It's like you've cancelled all the good things. So in short, you're basically saying we are strangers.
No, in short, what she's trying to put across, it's a tripartite.
Oh, at least you have backup.
A tripartite, a three-in-one. It has been mentioned over. Am I a friend, a colleague, or a workmate? These are three different things. Maybe someone would be wondering, a colleague in that, or maybe a friend in
Indan, and a workmate in Indan.
You see, actually, explain and see how best.
There's a reason I've asked is I wanted to hear her response, because I had something that I wanted to ask. Obviously, it's a general question to everyone, but I first wanted to hear her response before I say what I wanted to say.
Esther, kindly respond.
Maybe kindly define for us who a colleague is and who a friend is before I ask. Or I should spare you.
Please. I can say I'm your colleague, then you say, okay, Zabo now.
No, you can also be friends with your colleague. Maybe this should bring us, or maybe us, or maybe me, to the question of I would want to find out how should or how are people supposed to relate in workplaces. But just when you work somewhere, right? Esther works somewhere. Obviously, Mr. Oria works somewhere. So maybe this is just like a general question: how are people supposed to relate, like in workplaces?
I'm your friend.
No, just remove the friendship and the colleague, but just like a general question: how people are supposed to relate in workplaces. Looking at the fact that in workplaces we have different people from all walks of life, social statuses, different age groups. So, like, how are people supposed to relate in general? I'll start with Josephine.
Well, Messi, you have freaking bullet in my head, but I'll try to bring that. I'll try to bring that out. Yeah, I think that now brings me to the question that you asked to say, who is a colleague? Okay. You've just explained to say at workplace we have people coming from different backgrounds, of different age groups, of different social status. But when you are working in a certain setup like we are right now, I think here we are working already, we are doing
if you say so.
We are collaborating.
Yes. And that makes us colleagues.
Okay.
In the same thing that we are doing, we have the same goal that we both want to achieve. Be it the difference in age group. Just look at us. Me, I'm the eldest here already. Even when introducing, you were even trying to, there was some kind of hesitation. Should I say Josephine or should I say Josephine? You see what I mean?
No, because in English there's no Josephine.
Yes.
So I didn't want to call you Auntie Josephine.
Yes.
I didn't want to call you Mom Josephine. I think it's just Josephine.
There is just Josephine.
And even if you tell me I'm the same age as your daughter, but still I'm not supposed to call you. This is
not just in English, just in media setup. Yes, there is no Chan. You just address the person by their name. Yes. So, how we are supposed to relate as colleagues? As I said, we are supposed to have one goal.
Exactly.
The thing that we are supposed to achieve. Let's take, for instance, we have a certain target to say, colleagues, we have to achieve this and that at the end of the day. Maybe for a better example I can give is we have to raise 50,000 by the end of the month. That's what I mean. We have to raise 50,000 by the end of the month. So how are we going to get that 50,000? We sit all together and begin to brainstorm. Uyareta kuka idea kakwe, uyareta kuka idea kakwe, uyareta kuka idea kakwe. Paria amano ye wonse tukweteta paria cha ayamano yali na 50 years, ayamano yali na 10 years. Pantu walasango kweba ti even the young person even has got more ideas than umukulwain. So that brings me to answering to say at workplace we are supposed to collaborate as people of one common goal, understanding each other. But respect must be there.
Okay, before I allow Mr. Oria to say anything, I just want to ask, the same way you're saying respect should be there. Let's say I'm the one in charge of maybe a certain department and then you're working under me. Are you sure if I just come here and I just send you, Josephine, can you make a cup of tea for me? Because I'm busy and I'm the one heading the department. You just turn around and say, because she's heading this department, I'm just going to turn around and make a cup of tea for
I'm sure
you'll be saying, but you size your hope, you shine. Are you not going to be doing? Are you going to willingly turn and make a cup
I don't
of tea
think
for
it's
me?
even going to be easier even for you to do it in the first place. So you are going to have that regard to say, of course, here. That brings to me as a subject who is under you, your subordinate, I just have to know to say, quite all right, Miss is my boss. And in the office where she belongs, this is what I'm required to do. So I just have to do it. Panchito nifunika nazichita humble according to the position I belong to. I shouldn't come and say, Inendi mukulu, you have to respect me, you have to do what. No.
It's not about voicing, but like, okay, most of the times, I think our attitude, we don't really voice, but like deep down in my heart, maybe you would say, you would probably do something, maybe for the sake of peace, but like deep down in your heart, you have things to say. I mean, a lot of us, I'm not going to say a lot of people, a lot of us, there are times where maybe someone younger than you would maybe ask you to do something just because they're your boss, but you may be doing that like with a face of.
I think let's also hear from Mr. Holia, most especially him being the man. Then
I think so. Exactly. The same example I've given.
The same example, most especially you being a man.
How do you?
How would you?
Or what do you think? Or how should people relate?
Before I come to answer to that one, in the first place, I would like to, when you belong to a particular organization, whatever it is called, the first thing that brings you together, it's a This is point number one. We should always bear in mind. Number two, our attitude, the way we do things at home, does not necessarily mean that's how we're going to do things at the workplace. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We've been raised differently.
Exactly.
With different perceptional background. So when you are in a group, we should always be team players. Yes, we can work as individuals, as isolated, but we have to be a team. Here, for example, we at Lumen. It's a team. We have to be united, regardless of whatever we go through. Coming to the question that you are putting across to say, someone who is holding a senior position,
yes,
is younger than me, and to come and ask me, for example, I'm busy, I'm doing ABCD, will you go and make a cup of coffee or tea for me? In the first place, the way one would ask, is it in a commanding way? A request.
Yes.
It's a sort of a request. Can you? It's a command.
Or may you?
We are not supposed to use our position really now to infringe upon other people's rights. That is totally wrong. We shouldn't get the attitude from home. I'm a man. If I'm married, if I'm being saved every time at home by my wife, it is something that is different. When I come at the workplace, I wouldn't like start asking Messi, Esther, you should be doing these things for me. No, those are personal things. Unless you do it out of your own will, to say, okay, I think I can help him out, I can save him this. But not like I'm starting commanding you, you're supposed to save me breakfast, lunch, whatever it is. No, that is not really.
No, maybe I'm not commanding, but I'm asking nicely.
Yes.
But the issue is, how can I phrase this? It's not like, obviously, a normal person, sorry to use this word, like a person in the right senses, even if you're telling your friend, you just can't tell them, Iwe, can't pangileko kapiati. We always talk to them, or I'm asking like in a polite way. But my question is, if somebody, like someone who is like way younger than you, even if they ask you in a polite way, you're still going to be okay because they've asked you in a polite way.
You look at the situation, how it has presented
itself.
This is what I talked about earlier on. Say, you've mentioned about three things: a friend, a colleague, and
a workmate.
A workmate. How do we relate? It brings another aspect. How do we relate? How are we supposed to relate at the workplace?
Yes.
You know, maybe you could have known each other before you start working at the same place. You could be friends already. Who is a friend? A friend is someone you are able to get along with. There are people that we work with, they're not our friends. It's just that we meet them at a place of work where we are operating from. And there are those
that's a
people
good point.
who are close to us, those whom we are able even to share our personal experiences. There are people that we can confide into at a place of work because they understand us, we understand them, we know who they are. We can confide in them, say, I've got an issue at home. If I'm able to talk to this person will understand me, who will help me. There are those people whom you cannot even share anything that happens with you at home or wherever you are found. So we have
Mr. Banda, that's a good point. You can continue. Sorry to cut you short. You've said there are some people we can talk to about our problems. I think before I forget, this brings me to the question: are we supposed to make friends, or are we supposed to be friends at our workplace?
We have to relate, yes.
No, relating and being friends is different.
In the first place, before you become friends, there should be a relationship. You cannot just meet a stranger for the first time and call that person, you are my friend. There should be a relationship in the first place. You start talking, hi, hello, hi. Like that. From there, you develop.
Yeah, friendship is built from that, yes.
Not
like relating with someone does not mean we are friends. I can be coming to you, but Josephine, you're not my friend. I can be talking to you, you come for work every day. But Josephine, how is home? What? We have our lunch together, maybe on our way home because we go to we use the same bus or same direction. But that does not mean you're my friend.
Yes, you're right. Because
so my question is, if it reaches an extent of where I can even come maybe to you and tell you what's going on at home, I have this problem, I think that's a friendship level. So my question is, are we supposed to make friends at our workplace?
That depends. You know, a workplace is where people become a family. Most especially ngamwako kola panchito padai, you get to know each one's weaknesses, their strength. The more you relate with this person, at some point there is that attraction that comes on. You get attracted to this person. Mairo amshimikila kwaka na eve achitako confide this in you tomorrow, because you have to study. Like if I have an issue, whom can I share with? You understand? To whom can I tell? To say ni kwataka situation kaso. Is this person going to keep that issue and not tell it to anybody else? Then I begin to check who can be a friend of mine here. You see what I mean? The more you relate, a friendship can be created. By the way, I'm not talking about that friendship whereby it's common in workplaces, mostly with a man and a woman.
Oh, no.
Those are yes. So I'm not talking about that friendship. So it can develop into, the relationship can develop into friendship. But normally what brings us together, Panchito, is the same job that we have followed in Nchito.
But
we have come to it.
Friendship destroys, like, for example, don't you think it's not, well, how can I put it? Okay, before I voice out my point, maybe we'll allow Esther to...
Yeah, Nkala quiet. She hasn't said anything. She hasn't
skipping her. Maybe we'll allow her to tell us what's your
thought?
Opinion. At least she tells us our opinion on.
So I can say I'll start with how should we relate at work.
At work, yes.
Sometimes it's a challenge to work with the elderly people because, like she has put it, that do a boss department or bapanga mistake. So you find that there is that communication barrier. You fail to, like
Zambia part
mapanga mistake hapa olobwanji. And then also when it comes to married men, married women, it's also you can't somehow you can, but then when it comes to maybe you're having lunch and the like, and they would think of maybe kunyumba kwa mwenkalira ja kunyumba na kunchito ndi mwana ifanika
afuna tankarire
where you save them.
Yes, where you save them.
When they're done eating, you get a planner.
So sometimes we take our like a problem from our homes. Like he has said, different backgrounds. We bring our backgrounds again, Conchito. So which is so Pajama Tako how to relate with now.
So when you say we get our backgrounds, you bring them, Conchita. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying that we're not supposed to bring like our not really our attitude, like our issues from home, we're not supposed to bring them at our workplace?
There are some issues.
That's what you're saying, right? No, which is okay. I mean, if I have issues, for example, I'm a married woman, then I have issues with my husband. Maybe as I was coming from work, from home in the morning, we had an argument. Then I come really beat at work. Then I take out my frustrations on other people.
Yes.
You're saying we shouldn't do that, right?
Yes.
Yes, I was just trying to.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
that
you.
is, if I were to come in, that is totally wrong. Our
To bring up,
attitudes.
but you cannot control your emotions. If
No.
I'm upset, I mean, there's something that is really.
You just have
eating
to
me up.
control
I can't
yourself.
meet
You
it.
just have to control yourself
Do we
because
always saying is a different thing and doing is a different thing. When we have issues or when we have problems, from whenever we had an argument with someone, are we saying when we step in that door, we'll start smiling completely?
discipline has to be applied. I'm
But
telling
do
you,
we do that?
we just have to. If
No,
we
we
don't do
just
that,
have
we
to
have
do
to
that.
start.
We'll work on that.
Yes.
Just have to means we'll work on that. But
Yes.
are we doing that? Like when we have issues, when we come to our workplace, are we always smiley? And then the moment I step outside, foot na kari pat na kumbo.
Okay, if I let me put it this way, as we come from different places, what we should always know, nachoka kunyumba, I should have a reason why nichoka kunyumba, nienda
Coming to
kunchito.
work.
When I reach at my workplace, what am I supposed to do? That's the first thing. What am I supposed to do? Yes, I may be going through a certain situation, which really, why should my situation affect everyone at the place of work?
Not
Because
just affecting everyone, but affecting even the job that I'm
the
supposed
job
to
that you
do.
are doing. No wonder we are saying, when I've got an issue at home, let it remain at home. When I report for work, no wonder we're saying we need to relate at the workplace. Relate very well with one another so that you find a close confidant whom you are able to share what you are going through so that you can be assisted. Because if you leave it to yourself, Zambia kukutia pangono pangono. We've seen some people going to the early grave, not because it was their time, but they couldn't come out and they share what they are going through. Someone is being abused and you're quiet. You feel and think that everyone is like that, isn't it? So let's try to, we need also to open up wherever we are, whether being at a workplace, be at church, wherever we are found. Let's try to open up ourselves and see how best we can interact with other people.
Yes.
How can we associate with other people? Because if I've got a problem, I keep it to myself. Who is going to be hurting? It's me. And other people will be able to tell. This like an issue was saying, Musebenza na wakuru. Maybe ni mwapana. Wakuru wazona kama there's something chamene chimuvota. Nangusaka. They'll read because they've got the experience. They've passed through so many situations. So it's very important to open up in life and try not to portray who we are not supposed to be. Let us be real. If I'm coming from a poor family, why should I pretend at the workplace?
And that's the issue here, Kulapo. It's what
and I start competing. You see, let's be contented with what we have.
What we have.
Then people can assist us. This is like coming to issues of social media. You find that people would always post very good things
And
on
yet,
social media.
they're
And we
different.
portray a different picture. And the people who always read and see whatever we post on the social media, they will take it to say, "Uyu muntu savutika alichabe bwino bwino," because you always see my status, ya moista chani na chani, but we don't want to show our negative side of it.
And it's not to cut you short, Mr. Odia. A point mwalete yakwe bati when you are not doing so fine, be who you are. You know, I think this has affected a lot of people at workplaces, whereby somebody is coming from a well-to-do family and the other one is coming from a challenged place. and the two of you want to compete. You both want to seem as though you are all doing fine. A lot of people has ended up doing a lot of bad things. So now to come to how we are supposed to relate, that's the reason why how we are supposed to be relating as co-workers. We should be confiding in each other. Wakambako na munzako wasakira wamene ungakambe naye wamene aza kuchitako understand, and those people can even help out in one way or another.
Let's try to pick up this one. Hello? Hello, good evening. You are through to Lumen Conversations Unscripted. May you tell us your name? Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I wanted to find out to what extent, first of all, I'm enjoying the program. And my question is, to what extent can one be open to the fellow workmates? To what extent can one open up to the fellow workmates?
Okay, before we respond, your name, please.
This is Charles calling you from Bogota.
Okay, thank you, Charles.
Okay, how?
To what extent? Yes. Can somebody open up
Can somebody open up? This is what we are saying, to say when you at a place, first there should be a relationship.
Yes.
I get a job, I'm employed. Of course, napeza abantu benangu panchito. Kwa mene nisafikira kuja, maybe whichever department, I need to get to know the people who are there.
Exactly.
Aba ni wandani. First I get to know their names. Aba ni wandani. Or maybe the close person, bazani star sign, uzamba kusenza nawe. Uja first, maybe will be the first person is ankala pesti nae pafupi. Because ndio menzamba kupesika nao. Maybe wena tukapika, hi, hello, like that. Then from there, I should be able now to start determining based on the behavior of the people that I'm found with. From the behavior, I'm able to tell and judge, make a correct decision. So, but our community, Bamankalila, you behave, the way they talk, someone dresses, will give me an insight. So,
yes.
Close.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe like that. Then from there, we start developing. That closeness we start developing. Oh, next time, nilikala kwaso. Oh, niliko kapina married, niko na bana. Oh, just like that. Pangono. You keep starting. Oh, ni so. From there, you keep. Then from after that, you'll be able to make a very good decision. Say, from what we are always talking about, apart from work, maybe na palanchi msapesika muli babiri, mwajira pamozi, kuenda kunyumba na ngwenda kuina mwendera ku pamozi at a certain point ngati mwakoneka wina ngwendao.
Exactly.
You start opening up now. From those minor talks, muzazi bana noziwana kwamata, if I've got such kind of a problem, abaninga bafunzi. Kulibena ngwantu mpesika namo, you are so close to them, but you cannot share what you're going through because they cannot hold what you are able to share to them. Sibaza sunga nka.
Yes, Mr. But don't you think at our workplace we should? I think. Don't you think that that's not a place to create friendships? I mean, we should go to our workplace to work. That way you avoid complications. I don't think, personally, I may be close to a few people. I wanted to say, unfortunately, I'm close to a few people that I would call even outside work and stuff. But don't you think when you create friendships at work, it may also affect the way you guys work?
That depends on the kind of friendship you are trying to create.
So let me say the friendship that I'm trying to say is just like the same friendship that just like what Charles had asked me. He said, to
what extent can you go in sharing?
There are situations where if I'm having problems at home, then I come to you and I tell you, no, I'm having problems at home with my husband and kids. I mean, I just can't come in here like we're having a meeting just because we are like family. If there are people who are family but they're not friends.
Yeah, exactly.
We are not all close to our family. We have their family, yes, but they're not our friends. Not all family members are our friends. No wonder when you need help, there are certain people even say, if I call auntie this one, they will help. But if I call auntie that one, they'll say, okay, mzatu uza kutiviza inda bwanji, right? So the moment I go to Esther and I start telling Esther, no, kunyumba, no, this, my husband, Shanshani, that means Esther is really my friend, because I mean, that's a personal issue. I mean, if I bring it here, it's a personal issue. So, God forbid, I have an argument with Esther, then we work in the same department. Don't you think maybe I've told Esther that, and then she comes to you, and then you felt bad for me. Then you call me, no, mwana wanga chilibwa Shanshan. I obviously feel bad, ne? Don't you think that will affect my work relationship with Esther, especially if we work in the same office?
Definitely it will.
So don't you think at workplace we're not supposed, you can be close, you can be colleagues and okay with someone, but don't you think we're not supposed to create like personal friendships with our colleagues?
No, you can, because creating friendship will help you to avoid enmity amongst yourselves. The extent, like Charles has talked about, I think that's why this question has come. To what extent? One, the extent for me, the way I can answer it to Charles is to say that when I get to relate with, take for instance, Mercy, I understand the level of understanding of Mercy, the maturity of Mercy. That will determine the extent. What is it that I can share? You are a friend of mine, but I have to reach a certain level. I'll talk to, there are certain things that we discuss with you, things that maybe I don't discuss with Bakaro. And there are certain things that I share with Bakaro, but I'd never share with you. Why? I'm looking at the maturity. If I share this, will I get the look, for instance, this time you people, you'll be knocking off this time. You left home in the morning. You've spent the whole day here at Lumen TV. You'll be going home just to go and sleep. Come back tomorrow. So where are you spending most of your time? You understand that? You're spending most of your time at work. And why should you not make those family members as your friends also? Not the friendship of where you can tell even all the secrets. No. The friends that where when I don't have, Esther, I don't have transport money. Can you help me?
No, that's basic.
Yes, that's the level of friendship also. It's a level of friendship.
No,
it's a level of friendship. I mean,
Yes.
that's an extent. Maybe I can go with Esther Njashmako.
So when you say we should be like we make friends now, are we supposed to show it to our bosses that me and Mercy, me and Andrew, we are best friends, so that maybe even if I come back I
have to go with this one.
I have to go with Mercy to go and work because we are best friends.
No, but when you're friends with someone, you just can't hide. Like the way we are seated here. For Mr. Banda, for example, Mr. Banda is my friend. Then there's a soccer match. Because he's my friend, I mean, he's Arsenal Man City. Obviously, if they tell us when the stadium, I will take him. Why should I take him? It's obvious. It's obvious. He's the one I can relate with.
Yes.
So I'll take him. So there's no way I can hide. I'm not going to show my bosses. He's my friend. We're going to watch soccer. I'll go with him. If I go with Esther, it's just going to be boring.
Because I think we've dwelt so much on
Let me try to give a practical example, something that has happened to me. I'm talking from experience.
Okay.
You know, why I was saying it is very important to get along very well with the people that you work with. There are certain problems that may even occur at workplace, where when your family is far away from you.
Yes.
Who is going to help you?
Yes.
In the first place? Human resource, maybe in a different office.
Yes.
Here we are, probably, this is one department. We call this production. Then the human resource is in the other building or some other places. If I were to collapse in here, are you going to say, since they use human resource, let them come and attend to this person? It's the people who are here. I remember, I won't mention for the sake of living it the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
When I joined this organization, the first day that I reported, I was taken, or you'll be working in this department. And in that department, I found people. There were men and women in that department. So I was just told, you'll be working from this department. Then the people, okay, someone was assigned, so okay, introduce this person to everyone in here. So I was taking around here and there. Well, this is what, you cannot maybe master all the names at one particular time. You see, fine. But the person who introduced me just did the introductory part. After finishing that one, it all ended there. You see? Not showing you to say what next you're supposed to do. Even if you are qualified, you are new to the place.
You need to be guided.
But you know, someone who came close to be with me, it's a lady. Just a lady. Okay, fine. Oh, know what you're supposed to do for this time around. Just try to do ABCD. Like that. Until lunchtime. After lunch, just like that. You go home.
And that's the level of friendship. Because
first day comes and goes. The second day you come, all right, you greet the people. The same person, oh, we can come with this one. So she showed to say she's willing to help me to acquaint myself in that organization.
Exactly.
And who am I going to be with? I'll stick to that person. She's showed me what I'm supposed to do. And coincidentally, we share the same surname.
Wow.
We shared the same surname. And the people who were coming later on, they didn't know. They were saying, I used to call my sister. She was calling me a brother. And people knew to say, we are brother and a sister.
Okay.
Up to now, I'm telling you, we still talk. It's a person, by that time, I was yet to be married. When I was having the kitchen party, they came, organized themselves. After getting married, introduced her home. And they're friends with my wife. You see, because she showed me the love and made me to understand the job and feel at home. We talk, and even now, people don't understand. I call her, she's my sister. She calls me brother. And people think we are blood brother and sister. I was introduced to her family.
To her family.
And up to now, it has just remained like that.
So now, Mr. Ria, sorry for cutting you short. You have talked of institution. When it's a question, I always wonder why my institution, most of the institutions that I employ, you find that the people who are holding my big positions, they are old people. And then my youth,
with two sides to our
not necessarily. You know, wakulu wamasamala nchito. Ngenesani muntu nchito mukulu. They've got the experience. They've passed through certain things in life. Vast understand kwamba muntu akakupasa chintu ufunika uchisunge bwino. Chifukwa cha chintu ndicho chikuthandiza chikupasa ndalama kuti nawe umoyo wako uende pachani, uende pasogolo kapena uli na bana wapeleke ku skulu. You want to iwo ukunkhala tuwafika paja pa level bwino kuti ushita understand bintu. Now bapasa mfano bafana kunkhala ka mentality kacha koseberamo paja. You see, Africa maybe kunchito na mafoni yanapera ku smartphone. First thing that we do Africa kwa ono msikana azatenga chandika aiponyera kucha achoka mu ma flat shoes angena ma heels uyu ni TikTok face pa munji
kwamba zikopa
kopa so that we are posting pa social media. But mkulu akabwera azalanga no komena bwera ni kunchito nifunika ni chitecha no I need to arrange maybe this spouse ipi chinkali hapa ichi chinkali hapa but awachipana wambiza pa first 30 minutes or 1 hour ni busy first achoka from one office to the other and ushimikana msaka ngatinali weekend. How was your weekend? Unaliko nangu kuchigiki inaenda panje.
No wonder we shouldn't have friends at our place.
So ingalako difficult but the young baliko bafana benangu bali responsible.
Yeah, responsibility, that's what I want to talk about.
Muzamba no kambati uyu mama gwira nchito munga ni bakuru but ni mufana it's a maturity. You know, you have to grow intellectually so that you need to comprehend and understand things. Unokomena bwera na bwera kunchito sina brain kokopera bimachani bwanji kushimika kuli time meeting ashimika notu wafika pamene hapo ero bakuru kunkala they know the place very well manje bafana koma salira bakuru satapa akomboka 17 azatenga kona 20 minutes asalira kwa first ashira ko 1 or 2 things wamairo
but wafana afuna ajeko na
akomboka 17
to contribute on that Mr. Olia
parking anakudala waiting for time to go tiende chade
to contribute on that. I think Esther, what I can say is basically mostly abakulu balakwata some responsibilities not just at workplace. They have people who are looking up to them. They know to say this job, whatever I'm going to get from this job, I have to sort out ABCD. I have a family to take care of. I have not just the family, but other responsibilities that I'm supposed to handle to pay the rentals and just to prepare life for the future of the children. Now, for the children, for the young ones, most especially, if you are being taken care of, you are coming from your parents' home, where you know the parents are paying rent, they are buying you the food, everything they are doing. When you get paid, for you that money, it's for luxury. You see what I mean, eh? Yes. So, you think it's all easy. It's all easy, fiadianguka. And every time you just want to new things, you want to bring in this, you want to bring in that. Wow, ujamukulu wewe, as if to say, I'm not going to tamper with this job. Because once I tamper with this job, this is what is keeping me. I'll suffer at the end of the day. So bakulu, they tend to kuposa kwa mano, even when they have been given an assignment, they want to make sure that they get the right things at the end of the day. By moving avintu accordingly. You know, when you are running a business, you have a company, you have some targets that you have set. This is what I want to achieve at the end of the day. So when you sit to work as an elderly person, you know to say, I have this backlog of work which I'm supposed to achieve at this particular time. If I don't achieve it, I won't have the profit that I want to have. Where a young one may not see that. They can even take some laissez-faire kind of attitude, asobilako, achitachani, pushed here and there, because them they are still full of life. They can still go and find a job somewhere else, and usually tabachitana concentrate, though they have the energies to carry the job that the elderly people might not have. You see what I mean, eh? Yes. So why should an institution consider bakulu than your fan?
Is it fair?
Somehow, I'll give an example for the government. For the government, you know, the young ones have been complaining, as we are from Unza, we have all the intelligence, what, but batenga, msokotwane, ewa wabika, tishanshani, you know, counting the years. I think that should ring in the minds of the youths. Why? Instead of giving the employment to the youths, bapasa bakulu. Because kudala kwenzo nkala ma retirement, say, iseta kulila copper belt. There will be a certain time when you retire, bakulongerani, mwaenda na kumunzi. Bafana basala batenga manchito yaja. But why do you think they have to recall back the elderly people to come and do the job? I think it's the concentration and the responsibility that is there. Bakulu sibasobera maningi. Bafana masobera.
Okay, so are you saying once bakulu they are responsible people and all the young ones are not responsible?
Not all, but why should the company consider that? That's what we are looking at. So we are looking at the advantages against the disadvantages. So,
in short, majority of, now I can't say older people are more responsible than the young ones.
Not all.
No, I've said majority.
Majority.
I'm not saying all. Is that what you're saying? You're saying majority of older people are more responsible than the young ones?
Yes.
No, it really depends with the nature of the job.
I think so.
The nature of the job. There are certain positions, key strategic positions, which like you cannot give them to young people.
But young people also need to have experience. Yes. So if you don't give me maybe that position when I'm still young, then maybe someone older is holding the position. That person is going to hold that position maybe 20, 30 years. That person, and I'll be their age when that person will be retiring. Then you say because she doesn't have experience, she cannot or you just keep me because no, as a sevens are now anali kokudala.
No, maybe a very simple example is this: mukalangane get a car, kapaseni mkulu ati ni driver zienzi, kapaseni na wina nguni youth mfana zienzi, kasungidwe kasamalidwe. Muzao na chapa kaenza ta uyu moto kasiyaki.
Mfana enzo enzi.
Wakulu wa mankala wabeko yenda penangu.
This is what you're saying, responsibility. Moto kana pasa mfana enza, mapasa na mkulu. A lifespan ya ija motoka. Bazankala kusiana.
Bazankala kusiana
uti uja mufana within 6 months mgadabwe ya manokweche mkakwencho but ya maenza mukuru mwamaisungira si yake mushita no double motoka munga ni yao caring it like kai bazi bati mailo futinifunika ni 7 zese chini tandiza if we can have that attitude to say having a responsibility to say this property I need to use it properly so that even tomorrow it is able to feed me and someone else can use it to develop how they want to be in life. No wonder kwa nata iya yuko mata likanchitengea abakuru tibapase uyu mfana ankale junior wao apunzire to be the understand apunzire but baliko baje bafana okutati mwabapasa nchito baziba most of them nibaje bachokera ku background mwamea akula mu butika
and wama paka konze lumaningi because they don't want to go back to safari
so kuna komene bachokera kuchona ine nakula ubutika ni butika uti ni punzire it was a struggle here is an opportunity I'm going to embrace that opportunity wholeheartedly because I know I don't want my siblings or my children to go through what I went through.
So are you saying those people, I mean, they don't treasure things?
It's a 50-50. Baliko benangu bashita treasure, benangu aliko bashita banji bashita treasure. No wonder we are saying upbringing in some of these things is very important. Mwamene bana bakulisiriwa. Bapunziswa because Bible kamba train the child. Pamakali mwana kumpunza mwana akali ngono akakula saza ibala chipunzo chani chamakolo. That is how it's supposed to be. Mwana apunzira a well trained child, they grow up responsibly. Azaenda kuchonongera ikasokolo isiana nabaje okukwamba ati just from the beginning foundation sina linapwe muzamba no kama uja chirengesa so sana libino foundation yake inali yolubana or maybe kapena ma parents bake banalipo ngati sali so benangu suna kulena ma parents that parental care sipana imvere konomvera atimbeka bwanje it feels sad not to have gone through the parental guidance. If you hear people's stories, some of these stories you can cry. Ndio uja mtu mkampasa chintu tuona kama they will thank God. Ambuye Mungu chamemwanchitira mu moyo wanga. I'm going to remain grateful. Mama kulira mu butikira yes an opportunity chabwera sazafuna kuchirekerera. Azafuna kuchisunga bwino. Kwacha mutandizira chizamu ibalisa mavuta mana pitama yaje. That pain will really go to say mulungu mama chisungira. God acts in a very unobtrusive manner, which the members have summarized.
Tapafuka choshi.
So in short, we should give those people a background, better position so that they will hold it.
No, that was just an example. It was just an example.
Because
yes, I'm poor. I'm coming from a poor background or what?
For my interview.
It depends. But questions was a funsa about.
Yes, was a funsa. You coming from a rich family?
Totally different. Maybe kapena kuma interviews yanga kai kuma questions, but they won't ask you about it. Or even musivi sungaleme mubasoni nakula ubutikira ine brand.
And mostly what happens, the way somebody comes out to tell to say uyu anachokera kwaso, uyu anachokera kwaso. Ni same na school. I remember at school.
Before you go to school, the way you're saying, the way somebody comes out, in the beginning of the program, you say that Bantu, they don't humble themselves. They may come from a very humble background.
Keeping up appearance.
But they keep up appearance. So I don't think it's very easy for you to say this one is coming from this certain type of a background.
That was just one of the examples.
No, but it's true. Mostly, even if you come from a humble background, but like when we go wherever we go, we make it seem like we are comfortable, which makes it very difficult for maybe a potential helper to come through. Yes, because most of us, we just want to be on that level, like.
Yeah, sometimes
there are some traits.
But there are others who are also coming from well-to-do families, but because they just like. But there
are some traits that we always carry with from our families. She's Bemba. When like we are growing, we are molding
bafana
doti mapanga kachana
Yeah.
achimumbwa
palanoko palawiso kwama.
You see, we inherit some traits in our genetics. The topic in biology, a child inherits 23 chromosomes from the mother, 23 from the father. A fully grown human being has got 46 chromosomes, so 23. So depending which one is much more dominant and the recessive one, azapalako anapala wa mai bake wanapala bandani batate bake ni mwame bima stabwanji bima nkalira akakula na mtu bipo tutyo kama uyu mwame na masichepesera na atate bake wanali same o mai bake wanali same mwame mmone rawo machitidwe yake. You've heard about it, machitidwe yawo mwana same na mai bake, so nimemona lili banali bamushe mtima banali kwenza kusunga abantu. You go with it. Even kunchito kakaenda, you be an exception, I'm telling you. Out of the men wazama kati papali baje nango bazimai wasenzo pa company but baje na baje zona balina mtima, and everyone would run to them because they feel safe and comfortable kuli bebe, how they are going to welcome them. Mwame bazaba chitira treat monga ni mwana wao, but ni kunchito it's happening in some places. Just because momena ali ndi momo oli muntu sanga kuchinja ngati ndo ipa ngati ndo wabwino. They're not ways about it. Cha black in cha black sanga blue. That's what we say, ko spade. So momona kulira, you go with it. Na kunchito, you be able to assist people. Wali ko chapo kumuona chabe muntu nangu alichepa tali basawa na sapo maybe so bakambisa bwino kama palaso wasana open up mwandini ni toko za Mungu. You are an angel sent to me. Mabwamani kambisa, I didn't have someone really to share with what I'm going through. Then tankala tatandizana bwino. So we should try to relate in a very good way at a workplace.
Yes.
But we should maintain limits. Relate in a very good way, but maintain limits. We shouldn't go beyond certain limits and try to injure someone's confidence or erode the morality of that person. That's how a workplace is supposed to be. A workplace is supposed to be a habitable place for everyone. A new worker and an old worker, let them embrace. Let everyone feel at home, so that when they come to do the work, as a sevenza bwino aenda kunchito kutandize na muntu ngati wina problem kunyumba lekani niende ko fast kunchito chikwa kuliko ujali na kasoft voice azani kambisako I'll be at ease. Noti kunchito kubwele kunkale munga ni Msodoma ndi Gomora. Fast ukambisa na kimkambisani chabe bwino awe musta munga atika munaendera kumosi.
I think
it shouldn't be like that kunchito, no.
We had kamba pali workmates mashani ngati ba boss bamankala ni ma workmates na wewe.
Yeah,
or how should we relate with
we are subordinates to them.
They are co-workers. We are workers, right? They are co-workers.
Kusiana check kwa positions.
Kusiana kwa office. Inanifunika ni pere palevo panga. Niziba tomenka manabo bana boss. Even if maybe ba boss kumankalati bani kambiso, maybe I knew him way back. Nifunika ni wapase ule. Ni wa boss. I should have limits. Nisalangize na kulibe na manchi kwamba iya endaba niwazi wako way back hiyo tinaliko nabo kuskuru. Respect the office. Very respecting the office, you can know the person, but respect the office and the responsibility that comes with that office. Tisatenge manje chibereshi chiende kucha. No, that is wrong.
And also
just more you're giving us your contribution, you should also wind up and tell us your.
Okay, I'll say like, should we be friends to the bosses? As much as we are colleagues, yes, we can be friends to the level of the extent of the work which we are doing. But again, the bosses shouldn't be so much into my workers, because that compromises the quality of work. Because bossing ayangusha sana to the subordinates. Uzape that even your voice to tell somebody what to do is a kangiwa, because you've compromised, and the delivery of services will be affected. So the bosses should maintain their level, so that my subordinates naimwe waishwa nokweba ata apepo mfiro kupera bali wa boss atumchinshi ati mfiro kuipero mchinshi wandi umuchinshi kuichinti kanemu ine pako atubambi bateshani bese banchindike. And in conclusion, how are we supposed to relate at workplace. We are supposed to be colleagues with one goal. We are supposed to love one another, help one another, because we are working as a team to get one result. And if we are not relating well, what is suffering is the work which we are doing. And if we don't deliver, at the end of the day, we also suffer. So, ivova kupsana, I think this is the common thing that happens pamanchito setting. I think it shouldn't be the case, most especially at Lumen TV. It will affect the delivery of work. When we come, that's why we have the HR. Better you go there, you talk to them.
You go to the HR.
No, when there is something. No, when there is something. Maybe if I come to you, you won't answer me in a right way. Kapena sasuka, so I avoid you. So I go somewhere so that they take us. I was concluding. Don't bring more.
I'm just. I know you are concluding, but I'll just take a slim comment in the question. Don't you think if I offend you, it's just right that you come to me and you tell me, so that I don't do that? Unless if my response is then that's when you go to HR. Do you think it's right when I just offend you, then instead of talking to me? Because sometimes we respond to people. I may come to you and say, but just feel more about, maybe you didn't hear me, man, pity leader. Me, I would feel offended. Don't you think it's just right for me to ask? Maybe after some time to come and ask, I had greeted you, you did not respond. Why? Maybe your answer would be, you just didn't hear. And it's just something simple. But then when you take it to HR, don't you think now I would feel offended? Because already I was offended that you did not, somebody did not answer, and then I would think maybe it was something big, and then as HR, they'll find a way of talking to me. Even if you said a lot of things, they would find a nice way of talking to me. So don't you think it's just right that you...
By the time you are taking an issue to the HR, if I confront this person, it might bring out something else, and you are avoiding that. Because as you relate, you've gotten to know, when I talk to Esther in this manner, this is how she comes out. When I talk to Mr. Horia in this manner, this is how it comes out. So we just have to relate as colleagues, friends, and mutual respect, respecting my boundaries, each one of us.
Madam, last words.
I'll just say we should always respect each other from our workplaces. And to my fellow youth, young people out there, we should always try to work hard and be responsible, so that
they don't give the positions to big people.
Give the positions to big people. Be giving to young people like us who have energy. But if we are not responsible, then we can't hold those big positions.
So in short, those youths in better positions, they should hold them nicely, so that they give an opportunity to others who are not yet in employment.
Yes.
Mr. Banda?
Yes, the youth should be an example to other youth, and try to inspire many to be like them. There are always equal opportunities. Opportunities should not only be restricted to the elderly people, but let the qualified hold positions at whatever level. At a workplace, there should be mutual understanding, respect, and discipline. Above all, there should be a channel of communication. There should be a channel of communication. It is not everything that we do, or any simple conflict, that can go directly to the office of the HR. We are human beings. We have to bring things on the table. We dialogue, we communicate, we talk. The key thing is, how do we talk? How do we dialogue at the workplace? Last but not the least, respect of human dignity is the basis of true love. That's a key. Respect someone's dignity. You create a love affair. Where there is love, everything flows in its place.
Okay. I just did you have anything to add up?
No,
okay.
I've said no.
With me personally, my last words would be, one, I strongly feel. I'll start by saying, should we relate with our bosses? What was your question?
Should be
friends.
Friends. Like, how should we relate with our bosses?
Oh, okay. So I think one, just like you have all said, we need to have a mutual respect. I mean, that's the most important thing. Two, I strongly believe at workplace we should never create personal friendships, because I think they may affect the way we work. It's okay to get along with your workmates, whereby you can have like a civilized conversation. Maybe you can, it's okay for me to check up on someone, like we're just relating on that level, but I strongly feel we should never create personal relationships with our workmates. We can get along, but no personal relationships. And yes, mutual respect, regardless of age, of social status. We should always respect one's opinion. I mean, there's no opinion that is less important. It's like when you're brainstorming, every idea is important. And all in all, we should learn to love each other, and respect is the most important thing. Well, that's all we had for you on today's episodes of Lumen Conversations Unscripted. Until next week, same time and same place, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye.